Good afternoon, everybody. Silver Dragon here, coming at you with another look at From the Depths. Going to be taking a look at the campaign today, the brand new campaign. Well, I shouldn't say brand new. The fortress is new, but you know the campaign map is still generally the same. Although we do now have factions, well, more factions, diplomacy, and some other craziness as well involved in that. So I'm basically going to be going through pretty much a how to survive your first hour kind of thing. Now, when you first pick up the game, you need to actually reach level 4 in order to unlock the campaign. You can do that by going into single player and doing some of the story missions, or possibly even the skirmishes as well. And you can level up that way. You can then go into your character sheet and assign these skills to the various buffs, whether it be leadership here, which modifies how many blocks you can carry, which I'm not sure what it means about much how many blocks you can carry, but regardless, how many constructibles I can carry, so much how many different ships I can bring with me to the next zone. Only other things that are actually affected other than that would be something like Sky Captain here, which has to do with jet force, wing lift, and some other stuff like that. Space Captain, which has to do with dense air altitude increase, decrease. Not much interesting for that. Engineering doesn't have anything to do right now. Mining does. You can increase the rate at which you are mining by increasing that or decreasing that. Well, increasing it, obviously. I've maxed it out at the moment as much as I could. Mechanic would also increase your personal repair time, as well as the vehicle's repair time and some other bits and bobs for that. Now, we do have some other personal skills, actual skills you can pick up if you got enough skill points, like binoculars or telekinesis, and some other crazy stuff. Items you can eventually get, such as, say, a grenade launcher. You need 20 points in order to unlock this grenade launcher that you can then use yourself in order to, you know, shoot at enemies, or, you know, maybe board the enemy vessel and then, you know, start taking it apart or something like that. You can change up the fleet colors, your avatar, you can select which one you want, either the Scuttlebot or the Rambot, and other unlocks as well. You can see there's certain campaign missions you can do in order to unlock certain, well, vehicle parts, such as the huge propeller, square rig, heat decoy, which is a really important one as well, so you might want to get that done, and missile warner and laser defense components. Reaching level 4, as you can see right here, unlocks the campaign. Now, anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get back into it here and head straight to the campaign. I'm going to kind of show, because of the timed nature of the campaign, I'm going to first show off the ship extensively, or the, well, starting ship extensively, and then I'm going to restart it and start actually working on it and getting you to kind of look at things. Now, because I'm going to keep it on experienced player 1, I can lower that or increase it. You know, this is the enemy growth factor. The enemy, just basically, you know, how quickly they grow, how fast they send fleets out for you. Essentially, at 1, after the first maybe 20 minutes, they start sending out their first fleet to come at you, or maybe even before that. Either way, within the first like 40 minutes, an hour, you're going to have a very strong enemy fleet on your ass trying to, that's going to be trying to dodge. So you really have to, you know, get certain things done as soon as possible to avoid any issues. Now, I'm going to start up the campaign. You can see that if you hit M, you will go to the strategic map. If you hit F1, you'll open up the new diplomatic map, or diplomacy map, whatever the hell you call it. Menu, I should say, would be the proper word for it. And you can actually, you know, send them resources and try and bribe certain factions and such. Now, we're immediately at war with, if I hit F1 right now, we're immediately at war with the Deepwater Guard, which is -25. They will be coming for us. I can remove their bits of their territory and lower their strength and eventually wipe them out. I can go into diplomacy, and we can see specifically they're suspicious of me, they're allied with each other, so on and so forth. Now, this is our brand new starter ship that we get, our little, well, starter sky fortress, I should say, not really starter ship. Now, let me give a little tour of this ship and kind of show you its little problems and issues. Now, let me start over on this end. This is the dock of the Sky Fortress. We have various little areas here, such as this one, docking station and repair bay. If any ships need to be repaired, you can kind of dock them here and repair them. We have the vehicle scrapper and respawner. If a vehicle gets destroyed, it can be respawned here. Of course, I'll probably end up destroying all of these and rebuilding it in my own fashion. And then finally, we have the vehicle spawner and builder. So this will actually spawn in vehicles, build it. We do also start off with one small little ship as well, over here. On, oh, let me hop back up here. Space to hop, WASD to move, all that typical stuff. On the right side, we have our resources. We start off with wood, metal, fuel, or oil, I should say, which then gets turned into fuel, scrap, and crystal, all of which are quite important. On the bottom right corner, we have our ammunition, our oil, or our fuel, I should say, not oil, our fuel, and our energy, which is what our engines would give us. As you can see, it's quite taxed right now. Over on the left side here, we have our resource gathering stations. These guys here are actually mining the seafloor for resources. You can look at them and they'll tell you exactly how much is left. The resources do generate over time, so they will get more as time goes by. This obviously suggests you build more here, but I will get to that later. On the opposite end, we have the fuel, or I should say the oil drills. These actually suck up the fuel that we're gaining on the right side. You can see how much is also left on here, or at least what the percentage is at, and also how much power it's using. Now if I go to the right here, we have the fuel processing and storage. This is a fuel processor and then stores it into these various fuel barrels. We also have behind here this gigantic armored building. This is all metal reinforced kind of plates here. Actually, I should say metal reinforced columns, since they're all one giant thing. And this is where our ammo is stored. I will do something slightly different when I get back into this and start messing around with building this place up. Anyway, moving on from that. One of the biggest problems I find, of course, is getting just enough resources to really get this thing moving. This Sky Fortress costs a lot to get it to move. I mean, just having all of what it currently has, you know, having 2 pumps, two of these energy drills, or these resource drills in place and running, are killing the engines. You know, the engines are probably the biggest flaw of the Sky Fortress. They're tiny, they're not really built all that well, so it's pretty much along the lines of you want to do a complete overhaul of the entire engine getup. Of course, you don't want to do it, you know, all at the same time, because otherwise the engine would shut down, this fortress would start disintegrating, and that would be just, you know, terrible. Now, we do have one defensive weapon on the ship, which is this little custom cannon here. All in all, I tend to just, you know, almost remove it. I mean, it's not bad, but it's got no... what the hell is it called? Blah. It's got no predictor on it, so you can't really line up the shots really well, and it's... yeah, I just prefer to basically remove it and use its components for other things. Let me use my mouse wheel. So you scroll through the mouse wheel to go through 1 through all on the left side there, and you can fire by aiming and then hitting the middle mouse button. Now this, I'm still a bit iffy on this control. You can do it, you can change it to key mappings and such, which I probably will at some point. Because honestly, if you're scrolling through and you're trying to get, you know, trying to fire all your guns, you're going to scroll and you're going to be off and you're going to be like, get all your guns lined up and you're going to try and fire and it's not going to work. So basically what the general plan is, in the beginning here, when you first set up, is you want to get a command station set up. So you want to get a fortress controller so you can actually move your fortress. You want to put most of your immediate attention into fixing the engine here and doing what you can with it. That may require you to destroy some of the walls here, as well as we are going to need a lot of scrap, which is the one right below the oil on the right side, in order to really build up the engines. And in order to do that, we need to create a scrap forge, which is a brand new thing that's been added into the game, and I'll get to that later. But all of this, as I said, you know, with all the time we have before the enemies get here, we do not really have the time to turn this fortress, or this Sky Fortress. Well, we could technically turn the Sky Fortress into a battle station of sorts and get it to work the way we want to, but we really do need to move to other zones quickly in order to get crystal by killing enemies. So the big thing you pretty much have to do is get the engine working to the point where it's not going to die on us and can, you know, maybe hover without, you know, coughing and spitting and sounding like it's, you know, going to keel over. And then you completely transition your attention over to this little small ship here. I like to completely redesign it. You know, widen it, lengthen it. You can add cannons on it. You can add whatever the heck kind of weaponry you want on it, custom cannons. I'm actually going to try something different this time, and I'm going to actually use a drill system and see how that works for the initial wave of enemies. It will not avail me against any aerial enemies, but it should help me with basic enemies. And that is the general setup of what I'm going to be doing here. I bid the it's the most of the exploration of this place right here. That's all I really need to know about it, for the most part. I like to build my command center on top here, just because, you know, it's a nice view from here. You get to see most of our little sky fort, and I just really like having a nice little cabin up here. It works well. I do have to remove a lot of the overhanging bars here, because they do get in the way when I put my chair in place, but we'll get to that later. Now, if I take a look at the map, we've been running this for maybe 5 minutes, give or take. Okay, not in this map. This is the area map and the actual world map. You can see right here that this guy has already been dispatched from the command center to come to this sector that we're in right now to attack us. So you can see even pretty much the moment you load into the game on this difficulty, they're sending someone to kick your ass. And they have a strength of 20. So they're bringing maybe 7 ships, give or take. 5, maybe like 3 to 7 ships to come and attack me here with my tiny little broken fortress and all the kind of stuff in between. So you can kind of understand why I'm explaining all about the fortress beforehand, because I'm really going to have to be in a hurry to build this place up into something presentable and build that ship up into something workable before they get here and really F me up. So, yeah. So, with that being said, and this all being showed off, I'm going to now reload, transition over to a new campaign, and we are going to make a good solid effort at this and see if we can get some things done. I believe! I believe! At least I hope I believe. Anyway, single player, campaign, insert death, begin. Okay, so I'm going to have to be very quick about how I'm going to construct this and how I'm going to get this done. So I will try and comment as much as I can, as well as I can. Let me immediately start off over here quickly. Go in. I'm going to hit B to pull up the build menu. Remove the ammo barrels back here. E to pull up the equipment menu, which has all of the build options in here. Go into resources. Go into ammo barrel. I'm going to quickly place them along the back wall using right mouse click to go backwards. Left mouse click will proceed forwards, right mouse click will proceed backwards. Or left forwards, right backwards, yes. Okay, next I'm going to go fuel storage tanks. Place 4 of them in here. Remove these ones. Next I'm going to remove this guy right here, which is the fuel processor. I'm going to grab that in a resource tab. Rebuild it. I'm going to take 1 ammunition processor and plop that down as well. Okay. Next, let me get some resources going. So I'm going to go and grab my... Well, actually, if I do put the resource gatherer in now, it's probably going to destroy the... the power is going to go crazy and want to die. So, no. The next big thing I do is I need more resources to work with. So, I go over here to these... these are basically light ore walls, or columns, and I start removing them. That way I get to recycle their materials, which is scrap, which is something that I desperately need. And I'm able to, reuse it. Let's remove this wall here. Remove all this glass. Oops. Okay. Now, the first major bits of these are made out of gigantic columns. The rest of these are not. Now, if I hold down Shift while I have the wooden block enabled, I will replace the blocks with wood blocks. So I keep the structure, but I get the resources for these major blocks back. So that is what I typically tend to do with this. Hold down Shift and just keep clicking all the way. Use double mouse click to move myself forward. Next, I'm going to want to remove these little bits here so it doesn't fall apart on me. Okay, remove this, remove this. Next, I need to extend this engine, so now that we have the resources for it, so I'll go into engine. Crankshaft, which comes off of the engine block. I'll extend that by a bit. And I typically go cylinder, carburetor, and I'll show you in the type of style I'm talking about. So the first one is the green one is the cylinder, these kind of orange ones are the carburetors. Now I like to add carburetors on top of the cylinders like so, because once I do... Let me grab a cylinder quickly. Once I set it up like so, carburetor, basically, well, and then I have a choice. I can add an engine's own fuel tank right here, which as you can see made a huge difference in the amount of power being produced. or I could place in a supercharger, which would also get a bonus from that. Both of these get a bonus from any cylinder they're connected to, forward, back, left, right, or I think up as well. No, not up. Down, I believe. Yes, down, but not up. Okay. Carburetors. And we're out of fuel. Or out of fuel. Yeah, it is fuel. Okay. I was worried it was something else, actually. So let me go resources now that we have enough. Oil drill. Ding. And I'll pop that guy into place. You can see that it's using up a little more power now. Let me also get another resource gather in place. Okay. Let me go back to engines. Carburetors. Let me try engine zone fuel tanks. No, we need more. How much fuel is required? 60. Ugh. Okay. Well, what can you do there, eh? 30 for these, 60 for the other one. So I think I'll build this up, and I'll finish messing with this later. Okay, what else do I want to do? Let me hit B. Now, in a previous video, I was messing around. I did a tutorial on weapons, and I will admit I didn't do a very good job of it. I do apologize that I, wasn't as explicit in some things as I could have been. One of them was the ability to edit a turret once you've already placed, some components of it. I knew there was a way, I couldn't remember it for the life of me. And that way is basically to hit B on the actual object itself, or on the turret itself. This also works for everything. If I aim towards the edges and hit B, I'll be building down near there. If I aim randomly in some direction and hit B, it'll be where I was last standing. Give or take. So let me remove, whoops. Let me remove this little section here. I need to go into E, Control, and get a Fortress Controller. So I like to place near the front here. I then like to place a chair behind it to give me something to sit on, all nice and comfortable like. I then like to go into blocks, wood, and wood beams, and add a bit of a protective fold around this place to kind of keep us nice and cozy in here while we're, setting out to destroy our enemies. Okay, wood blocks. I then like to put glass up front, but I'll leave that blank for now. Anyway, we should be focusing on other things now that that's all dealt with for the moment. Let me go over and start modifying this thing. Actually, we have enough now, so let me actually get back over here and finish modifying the engines. And there's actually more I can actually do with this as well. Such as all of these are just in a terrible, terrible position. And they don't really do much of anything at all. So I can get a lot of resources from those. Let me go and put some carburetors in here with these superchargers. These guys right here are actually these superchargers, which do assist the engines somewhat. Now, this is how I like to set this up here. Now, if I go up to exhaust, you can see that there's certain ones that are shaking. Those are the cylinders. I then like to place exhausts on each of these cylinders, which does help a little bit with efficiency. Let's get another crankshaft or two. Go carburetor. Carburetor, carburetor, cylinder, cylinder, cylinder. Double up the carburetors up top, get an engine zone fuel tank, and this thing's pretty much set. It's perfectly stable now, everything's fine, everything's dandy. Okay, now that I have this big wide open space here comes the fun part. This is one of the new bits of the resource pool. Scrap smelters. In order to get scrap, we need to smelt it. I like to go into the corner here. Place the base, kind of go back, place the top, and then all you have to do is go up to it and hit Q, and it will start, it starts turned on. Okay, so it's converting metal and material, or, well, metal and natural, it's called, not really called wood, it's called natural, but whatever, technicalities, to scrap. So, now with that done, it's time we focus on this little ship right here. It starts off with a little, oops, let me go block in wood so I can remove things properly, with an electric engine. I'm not really fluent in electric engines or much of a fan, so I tend to just delete it outright to begin with. Let me remove the control panel here and this guy. It's not really necessary. Alright. There we go. Let me... Whoops. Okay. Now let me extend this bow out quite a bit. May not actually need it this quite this far, but I want to do it just in case. One second. Apologies, the rain is actually quite loud and gets in the way at times. Okay, let's start at the end here. Very first thing we start off with is, of course, an engine, so engine block. I'll go 6. Well, probably don't need nearly that much, actually. So about 4 of those. Then we want to go start off, of course, with... Oh, I put a crankshaft there. Cylinder. Next cylinder. Actually, I want at least one more cylinder, so let me get a crankshaft here. Okay, cylinders. Shite. I need a lot more scrap. A lot more scrap to set this thing up. Well, let me remove this section up front here so I can at least get it going. Let's see here. Carburetors, carburetors. Damn. I definitely need to sacrifice something to get some more scrap. This will give me metal, but it won't really give me scrap, I don't think. Let me see if I can go build materials and see. No, there's no scrap in metal. Just metal. Just metal and metal. Alright, since it's being really slow, I'm going to get a second one here temporarily, even though I don't really like to waste that much resources. Because I tend to run out of metal if I have too many of these running at the same time. Okay, that's turned on. It's converting. Okay, let me get down here. Build engines, carburetors. Oops, nope. Cylinders. It's really producing as fast as it can, so it can only do as much as it can do. God damn, really? 60? Expensive! I'm gonna have to take, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take apart some of the engine in here, just because it's, you know, it's too expensive. I need more, and I need it fast. I need it now, damn you! This thing can moan and groan a little while longer. I will fix it up later. Okay, good enough. Hopefully. Hopefully good enough that we can finish this quickly. Urge. Okay. Carburetors. Carburetors. Cylinders. Engine zone fuel tanks. Finally we got carburetor. 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 And I would like to get a supercharger. Okay. Maybe a couple exhausts. There we go. Set up in this beast. Okay. Now with that done, let's get some more wood over here to give it more of a, you know, proper presence. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Resources. Fuel storage. Now with what I'm currently building, we're not really going to need... We also get a fuel processor. Let's go control, chair, vehicle controller, ship's wheel. Okay, with the design I'm going for, we're not going to need ammo, so we don't have to worry about that. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Okay, good. I actually may want to extend this a bit further just because of the amount of room required for this thing. I'm only putting one drill on it, but still. Whoops. There we go. Okay, now, time for the actual device itself. So, let's go simple weapons. There's all sorts of weapons you can use. It's most of which I covered in my last video on that specifically. So I'm going to go drill. And now this is the interesting bit I've learned. You want to go power input. And add a bunch of those on here. And then you then want to go into the torque amplifier. And add a bunch of those on pretty much all portions of this here. Now you'll tell if it's working if it says that it's connected. Oh shit. I think we started to sync. We have actually. Whoops. Close call. Alright, I think it's time we stretch this out a bit. Let me see if each of these kind of line up a bit. This one goes out one more. I do like some form of symmetry, especially when I'm trying to make something like this. Okay. Whoops. Now there's a reason why I'm doing this. Basically, once it's done, I'm going to be adding ballast tanks inside. Actually, probably easier if I didn't start on the top till I was done. Oh well. It is what it is. Okay, let's go water. And air pumps. Okay, blocks, wood block. That should keep this more, or, well, generally stable, I hope. Okay, let me go back to simple weapons, drill, and torque amplifier. Okay. Whoops. We're running low on fuel again. Unfortunate. The hell are we converting it with? Let me just kind of finish that up for the hell of it, just so I can get it done. Okay, once that's done, we need to go into drill extension. Now, I was only going to go with one drill, but now that I've got this ridiculous long thing, I might as well go crazy with it. A little bit. Okay. Let's get a large drill bit. Pretty mean little device, as you can imagine. Okay, let's get some extensions. Whoops. The heck did I... Okay, it was only a block of wood. Thank God. I was worried it'd be something more extensive than that. Now this guy actually needs to be powered on, and it's powered by the actual engines themselves. So I need to be careful with what I do with this. So simple drill extensions. Also, I probably don't want to turn it on anywhere near the actual, my ship. Otherwise, bad things would occur. Okay, let's go horizontal splitter. Horizontal splitter. Large drill head. Ugh, freaking fuel costs. Always deadly. Always deadly. We'll add on... Oops. Nope. Wrong way. There we go. We'll add these little bits on the end. Make them look nice. Now, let me kind of sit down for a second here. Let me back this beast away with J. Oh, wait. I forgot. We stop it. Okay. Build. E. I need to go into water. Rope propeller. I almost completely forgot I need to add these in here. How much is it going to cost me in fuel? 15? Okay, it's done. I was worried it was going to cost me a lot, but no. Turns out it was really quite cheap, actually. Okay, so let's surround this beast. Keep it nice and protected against any random enemy fire. Or not so random enemy fire, as it were. Whatever the occurrence might be. Okay. Try and keep myself and my engine defended as well, as they will be shooting for me. Okay. There we go. That should be good. Okay, it's about time we got the heck out of here. Move myself away from the docks so I'm not ramming into them like that. Move forward. Seems to work pretty brilliantly. Okay, now I need to turn these babies on. So go up to the front here, hit Q, and it will turn them on. Now I can see that my engine doesn't have quite enough power to deal with this. But once it gets up to speed, we're good. Okay, now it's time we go. Before these guys get here, we need to start engaging enemies. So we're going to engage the area right next to us with just this guy. Let me move it over this way, give or take. Alright. Engage this area. And then we will fight. Ha ha! And it will be glorious. It takes a little bit of going to get get them sped up properly. Now, if I look at the very top, I have a little bit of a compass, as it were. You'll see north. I don't know why there's a 1 there, but either way, the exclamation marks you see over the right are my 3 enemies. So I'm going to steer the ship towards those exclamation marks using UK, U to go forward, J to go back, K and H to go left and right. And I'm just going to speed over there and essentially ram the enemy. You can see these incredibly fast spinning drills are basically going to tear them to shreds. I have actually made an advanced version of this that works. It's a monster. It will any sea-based craft does not stand a chance at all. It just shreds them to death. It's so ridiculously awesome. It's like it is the spawn of evil. It is beautiful. Anyway, basically you can imagine these 3 drills with 2 more large ones kind of horizontal instead of vertical overlapping them, and that gives you a good idea of how much of a monster that thing is. I tore up a gigantic ship with no problems whatsoever. Now my major issues are going to be dodging enemy fire. Obviously I don't really want them to hit my fuel, I don't want them to hit my engines, I don't want them to damage my ship in general, and I'm gonna have to do my best I can to speed up to them and get close enough that I can ram this down their throats. And they won't last long. They'll explode, and my guy will repair the ship. But, they aren't going to be doing all that much damage to me, especially not these guys. They have a couple small cannons. They're going to make like a small dent in my drill, and that's going to be it. Here comes their cannon fire, as you can see. The lines that are currently shooting at me are the target acquisition lasers. So it's part of the AI network you can get. So I can actually automate a lot of my ships and a lot of the actual weapons on my ships, kind of like the ones that are coming at me right now. Of course, I've tried that with the drill ship, and unfortunately this drill ship does not automate right. Sadly, I was quite disturbed by that. I just didn't want to ram the enemy ship, It's kind of like, thinking about the ram as well. It wouldn't make a very valid weapon AI-wise if the enemy, if they refuse to use it. Cough. My English is being terrible tonight. I apologize. Come on, faster, faster. Crush them. Oh, you tickled my drill. I think I'll kill you now. You can see right there, that's 1 down. 2 enemies left. See how quick that was? It's ridiculously powerful. If applied correctly, this is a ridiculously powerful device. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get on up in there. I want to see you bleed. Eventually, they're actually going to have ship's crews and such as well, which will make boarding and the actual boarding weapons a lot more interesting and purposeful. You can see that guy did just explode. I hit one of his ammo barrels, and it did destroy one of my drills. But my captain here, as you can see, he's using his little tentacle repair arms and is quickly repairing the damage. Quick, easy done. Now, the enemy is not going to be coming at us entirely with Seacraft. He actually does have some fairly devilishly clever aircraft as well that shoot various things that are quite painful, which is why I also said it's a very good idea to get that campaign mission done, or story mission done. Not campaign mission, they're separate things. So that you can unlock the heat decoy. The heat decoy will assist you with missiles, especially, or I should say more importantly, keeping them out of your face. Now, I believe the exclamation mark, blah, 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 if I could speak properly. Actually, that's my ship. That is my ship, okay. I'm actually looking around. This rain cloud is keeping me from seeing the resource zone, and that is disturbing to me. These guys are searching their territories. Genwall, they haven't dispatched any troops yet, which is kind of weird. I would have expected them to have their guy already halfway here. Ah, well. Anyway, if I can actually see, if these rain clouds go away, I can actually see the resource zone. I may be able to set up a quick resource fortress with what I currently have in my possession. Frack, I can't see a damn thing in this rain cloud. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. No, I didn't mean hit escape. We go map. Let me return to friendly area. It doesn't really matter where I return to. I'm going to head right back in a second, just so that I can get closer to my objective. Although I think I have more than enough scrap, so I think I'm going to go turn that up. Well, yeah, no, I'm going to go turn off at least one of those so we can slow this thing down. So let me speed on over here. Obviously, I'm going to keep going up and down, especially the farther I go. Oh, shit, it's too much, is it? Yeah, a little bit. Basically, I'm trying to turn those off. Whee! Obviously, it's not working. So, screw it. We'll come back and do that in a minute. Let me return to this friendly area. I want to move it generally where the staging area says. That's usually dead center in the resource ring. Now, basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a purely resource gathering fortress. It's going to be incredibly simple. Okay, we're in the center, just like I'd hoped we would be. So I'm going to hit B. Oh, B. I hit N instead. Go to E. I'm going to go down to constructibles and start a fortress. And then anywhere I put this will be the construction of the turbine of the fortress. Let me kind of build it up a bit. There we go. Now, let's go one more, I guess. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Might as well start off perfectly squared. Okay. Does need to be like this, but hey. I'm making something look good as well here, for the most part. Now, the first thing you want to do before you disengage this engine, or disengage the build menu here, is to make sure this thing has an engine. Oh, as you can see right now, it's already having issues. Now, I want to pull this back a bit. Because obviously an engine is going to take up quite a bit of space and have its own issues. Let me go engine quickly. Engine block. Crankshaft. I'm going to add 6 this time around. Let me add cylinders. And I'd be very quick about the design of this thing, just because I'm afraid of its complaining is going to actually lead it to fall down and die. Basically, if you eventually run out, and I'm out of fuel, honestly, wow, you suck. Let me remove sections of this. Damn pesky little so-and-so. Having issues for no good reason. Fuel supply, you're murdering me right now. You're absolutely murdering me. Not giving me much choice here at all. Okay. Let me go resources, oil drills. We set up a couple oil drills here. They will obviously slow my machine, or, you know, blarg. English. Let me fly over here. They'll provide me with a little bit more oil quickly so I can get this thing built. instead of having to wait and being like, what the hell is going on here? Okay. Engines, quickly. Carburetors. Actually, not cylinder. God, why do you require so much resources, you annoying so-and-so? Engine zone fuel tank. It's not going to make that much difference. Let me remove that. Requires 60. My God, you expensive sucker. I don't know how I'm going to manage to get this thing floating with any decent amount of survivability, I should say, would be a good term. Let me go and grab some fuel storage, if I can. Fortress destruction imminent. I could actually lower the altitude, and that would help, but it should be fine. Okay. We're now in a position where I can relax a little bit and not be like, oh God, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. Somebody save me. Whew! Again, I may have to go back and smack my other ship around a little bit, but it seems like things are at least basically working here now. Let me get a oil drill on this ship as well, or on this station. Obviously, it's going to drain up the power significantly, but that's okay. That just gives me a bit of a marker as to how I need to improve it. Need 15 fuel for each one of these. It's a lot less than I need for the carburetors, that's for damn sure. Expensive little bastards they are. Ugh. Anyway, I apologize. Let me see if I can get this quickly built here. Sustained in a long term. Looks like it's enough to keep running. That's really what I want. I just want this thing gathering like maybe one resource and one bit of fuel right now. And it will continue to do this while I'm gone. And add it to the pool at a slightly slower rate when I'm not in the area, but at least it'll keep adding to the pool. There we go. Now we're starting to get some serious progress here. We get another fuel tank. Again, I think that's 60. Yep, gotta wait for 60 fuel. Usually it's funny. Fuel is usually not something I ever really have to worry about before. Now they're actually making it a little bit more of a pain. Of course, I still think it's a little ridiculous how much is required to keep this thing afloat at times. Oh, we got an attack coming. He is going for 0-0 territory. But he may intercept us here, so I think I'm going to have to bring the fleet in just in case. So I better go get that set up here in a moment once I'm done here. Okay, we go resources. Get a resource gathering drill. Eventually there will be more than just enemy ships as well. There will be types of sea monsters, I should say, that we will have to worry about. Let me go fuel processor. Rebuild this. And then get out of here. Retreat back to friendly area. Somewhere around there. Return to friendly area. Okay. Now I need to get this thing ready to fight and back to that previous area. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to intercept it when I... Okay, let me head forward. I'm pretty sure they're going to intercept that platform before they get to here. So that thing has no defenses, so it will crumble against the enemy's onslaught. So I do need to prepare. I might not. It wouldn't be that much of a loss, honestly, if it did get destroyed. I mean, it's committing to the pool at the moment, so that would help one way or the other. even if it just managed to gather a little. But, you know, I don't want to lose it for no reason, if I can help it. Let me get over here quickly. Now, I need to build a series of weapons. Let me disable this for now, just in case it starts bumping into my ship, and I don't want it destroying everything. Okay, tab, 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 in order to cycle through my robot view phases. You may have noticed I've used that a lot. I apologize for not explaining it before. This is the original one where you're just looking through the robot. Next one is free look mode. And then finally, it's just kind of moving and free look mode. Kind of attached mode, I should say. Okay. Control. Engines. Cylinders. Okay. Carburetors. Cylinders. Okay, engine zone fuel tanks. And I'll get that in place. Now we have a more stable barge to deal with. Okay. Now, with that done for the moment, let me set up this a bit here. Now, the next thing I really want, let me quickly get a blocks, glass. Let me quickly place some glass across the gap here. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Before I run out of frickin'... Before I completely run out of metal, let me just disable some of these here quickly. Hopefully 355 scrap will be enough. If it is not, then I will just make more. But for now, I want to not overindulge like I have done in the past. That tends to get me in trouble for that. Okay, wood blocks, wood blocks. Complete the top. Okay. Next, we want to make what is called an AI core. It is what will help to control our turrets on this thing and fire on our enemies. Some of the turrets will be AI controlled, some of them will not. Now, I need to go into the AI menu, so BE and then AI. I need to get an AI mainframe, which I'll build like so. I then need to get either a forward and back or a left and right connector. If it says connected, then you've connected it to the correct side. Okay, that one's connected. Next, I want to add a target prioritization, a aim point selection, and a target tracker chip. These are the only ones we really need. You got 55 seconds till they attack the other zone. So let me add a wireless transmitter to the top. And we now have a functioning AI set up here. Now I need to actually get 6-way connectors. Okay. Let me get a local weapons controller and a wireless receiver, which will receive the signal and relay it to here. Now I can put this within 2 blocks from that, so let me go constructibles quickly. 360-degree turret block, 360-degree turret. 2 wooden blocks in front of that. Then I need to go to custom weapons. Apologies if I go too fast here. Firing piece. Add a predictor on top. Add a couple recoil suppression barrels. Add a couple, 6-way connectors. That should be fine. Next, on the side of those, I add autoloaders. And then ammo boxes. The autoloaders will basically increase the rate of the fire of the cannon. And the ammo boxes assist in that. So it's good to stack up as many as I can. I then take the gauge increasers and chuck them up top. And then finally, well, I can add a couple more gauge increasers, I'd say. Then finally, I take some armor-piercing rounds. If I have enough room for it, which I do not, then I'll leave it as is, because I'm out of metal. I am low on metal, and I'm low on scrap. Okay. Let's go map here. Well, let me save first, in case this goes horrifyingly wrong. Well, shit. I think I screwed that up, but that's okay. Yeah, I saved over the previous one, I think. Too late. Oh well, I screwed it up, that's okay. Okay, resume. Let me fly down in here. Now, I may be in trouble once I get there because I do not have an anti-air system, so if they do have air with them, I am going to be in some slight trouble. Whoops. Let me exit the map so I can go back here. Re-enter friendly area. Both the starting fortress and myself. The starting fortress is going to be near the resource gathering area. I am going to be a bit to its left on the other... Well, I guess I don't want to be too far from my fortress, so I'll go right here. Okay, return to friendly zone. I'm not sure which one I'll be controlling, but I will hop on over to the other one. Oh, looks like I'm controlling my ship here. Okay, good. In which case, I can quickly hit tab, scroll out, and adjust myself if I need to. Whoa, lag force 1. Yeah, my turret is definitely not the best in the world, but it's what I got. Okay. Let's see if I can kind of drag this thing off to the left a bit. No, it's not going to take. Okay, we have 5 enemies, and it doesn't look like they have any air units. Thank God for that. That will save me a lot of hell. If it's just sea units, I can probably tear them apart with this beast. I got lucky. I got lucky they didn't bring any moths with them. Ugh, I hate those things. Freaking ridiculously hard to kill at times. My turrets, like the one I just built there, usually I build it out more than that, but regardless, I've had 3 of those firing at the thing, and they'd hit it, but they really didn't do enough damage. There's another kind of turret I will be building soon once I have enough resources, which hopefully I will soon, which is called the... Well, it's just a missile system, basically. Anti-air missiles, fragmentation missile system I use. So it's laser guided, so as long as the laser is on the target, it will continue to beeline to the target. Let me quickly go water. Boat propellers, because I don't really have enough thrust down here, it seems like. Blocks, would block, would block. Water. Propeller. Alright. Okay, let's go, 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 baby! Woo! Speed away! Oh, shit, I forgot. Gotta turn this thing on. Ugh, Silver, you dip. What the hell are you smoking, my friend? Okay, better be careful. They have a decent one. They have a decent one this time around, so he's going to be a bit more difficult to take care of. He does have, as you see, that red shot that just went over my head. That is an explosive round. If it hits, it's going to do a little bit more damage than a regular round, to say the least. So I'm going to take him out first. I'm going to see if I can ram him direct on. There's an explosive round. Ooh, barely missed that. Barely missed it. Now, the rest of them are small craft. They're going to be easy to take care of. This guy should be torn up fairly easily by my drills if I can get close enough without taking a beating. It's also a good reason not to have any ammo barrels on this thing, is because if he hits a fuel barrel, I don't think it's going to explode. Ammo barrel, on the other hand, yeah, it's another story. Chew him up. Oh, there we go. Took out his ammo already. Woo! Okay, let me see if I can turn him here a bit. Chew it up, baby. Chew it up. Oh, yeah. Take her down. Take her down. That's one shredded, like that. Now, you can imagine, I am going to modify this thing to be exactly like my previous craft. Or my perfected craft, I guess would be the proper term for, well, not perfect term, but still, you know what I mean. I have better design for this. Slightly better design that will work even better than this. But it does require a bit more time to actually make it. Or time, energy. So I have to pull out the back and rebuild the back end and extend the engine in order to really get it going. I might actually add a couple more propellers to it as well, just to speed up things. Yeah, this thing is being really damn slow right now. 1 second. Use up a bit more, but god damn it, I need to be fast here. Trying my best to speed towards these guys and get to them before they get to my platforms. There we go. Finally catching up on them now, I think. The waves are making things difficult. I'm losing a lot of my speed and momentum every time I go over a wave. Here we go. First one going down now. Come on, baby. And I'm hitting them in the back, so it should hit his... Looks like they destroyed all of my drills that time. That may take a little bit more than a second to repair. Got way too careless in that one. First drill's up and running. Oh shit. Hold up. Brakes. 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 I don't have enough weight on the front anymore to counteract the pull of these engines. They're way too powerful for what I'm putting out here. So I'm starting to literally flip my ship from the sheer force of the vessel. There we go. It's helping repair me. Thank God. Oh, yeah. Damn, the range on those things is beautiful. I love you, ship. Or whatever the hell it's called. Fortress. Sky Fortress. Thank you. Thank you, brain, for putting 2 cents together. Okay. I'm still hurting here a bit. They didn't completely rebuild it. There we go. There we go. Only destroyed one head that time. That's exactly what I intend to do, actually, is to destroy one head with the explosion of the enemy vessel and keep the rest intact for the next guys. That way they can quickly repair it, it's ready to go, and we can finish off the next guy. Now it looks like I might have to add a little bit more weight to the front. With these new engines, they're kind of keeping me from really getting a lot done here. Let's let them explode now. With that left engine there. There we go. Really didn't do as much damage that time around. Good, good. Now we're left with one enemy left, which is that little punk right there. I really don't want to hit my ship, though, as I'm speeding past here, so I had to be very careful here. Oh, man, we are, like, skipping across these waves much more than we should be. That's for damn sure. Having some issues turning around here. You can see, weird, my AI cannon is not firing. Did they really take out my AI core, or is it just not... Might have missed something. I don't know. Either way, I probably should figure that out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the left section of my ship is missing. For some reason, it's not replacing it. Probably my own damn fault, I'm sure. In one way or another. And drill! Boom, shakalaka! And down they go. Okay, now what the hell is wrong with my left side? It's even. It looks perfectly fine, so it should be perfectly fine. Weird. Okay. Okay, let's turn her off. Now we do have another set of them coming. Look at my map. Viewboard map. They'll be back. They'll be here in fairly short order. So let me go see why this system wasn't firing. Possibly because we ran out of ammo. Let's see. Nope, we didn't run out of ammo. Is it being controlled properly? Is the signal being received? It is connected to the mainframe. I see what the problem is. Okay. Blocks, wood block. I'm pretty sure it wasn't close enough was the problem. AI, let's get a 6-way connectors. Let's get the local weapons controller and a wireless receiver. Now it is controlling one weapon, so it will now proceed to fire this weapon. Okay. Now, with that done, let me create, since I have enough resources now, let me create a couple other ones similar to it. Well, when I say similar, I mean pretty much exactly the same thing. And I like to use these little resource rooms as platforms for them. Now, what is my actual time here? Now, my time is probably up for now. I don't want to overextend this by too much. But I like to add another third platform at the very end here. Let me actually... Should I lower it down? I think the turbine power that's running low is actually the one on this side over here. Let me quickly go fix that. Yep, it's this one. I'm fairly sure. Whee! Into the sky! Oh, I see the problem is. Resources. I forgot to add a fuel processor. Okay. Engines, crankshaft. That's completely my bad. Alright, let me add a supercharger up here now. Give this thing some oomph. Oh yeah, that gave it some oomph, alright. One more crankshaft, one more set of cylinders, and then finally the extra carburetors and some exhaust, I would say, at this point. We were definitely in need of some exhaust. They'll give it some... They give some measurable bonus once you get a good line going like this. This is probably the perfect way I've found to build an engine. I'm not, a complete expert on building these, most definitely not. But this is about the way I've found the best way to do it. Okay. Let me go resources quickly. Add another resource gatherer. Add another oil drill to the other side. Okay. One more resource gatherer. That should be good. Okay, I'll keep it all nice and steady there while I go back to the other ships. Now, they will be intercepting us here eventually, but I think I'm going to leave that for another time. So, hopefully you guys enjoy. Actually, no, I'm going to quickly show off my setup for a missile turret. Let me quickly go blocks, wood block, wood block. Set up the whole thing here. Now, this is something I like to control myself. I don't let it automate this. Well, I can, but I prefer to control it myself. Okay. So, same thing as always. First you sneeze, then you go into the constructibles, turrets, 360-degree turret, as I like these because they can angle up better. Precision turrets angle well on the same plane, but that's it. So you're allowed to keep them lower to the surface. Now, at the top here, about 3 up, I like to build a little, about yay square, give or take, of like a, was it 2x3? Next I go into missiles and torpedoes. Get a missile controller, followed by a missile 6-way connector, followed by a missile launch pad, and then another one, and then another one on each side. I then add about 5 missile blocks. Okay, as you can see, we're running low on metal, so let me actually collect some metal. Now, as you can see, these gigantic columns here are made of metal. Although they do reinforce and help to defend my ship, I find it fairly often that metal is a very much needed and poorly stocked resource. So I end up having to do that, scavenge my walls, and replace them with wood. Okay, let me go over this, hit B again. Alright, let me go back up here, go missiles and torpedoes, missile blocks. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, I want to get a missile laser emitter and plop that on top of this baby right here, the 6-way connector. That will now target any enemy you point it at, and you can set it to destroy them. Now, if I go over the missile and hit Q, I already have a design set up, so I can go into load. But basically how it works is you edit it. You can add on from the top to the bottom. That's tail to nose. You can add on thrusters, fuel tanks, fins, explosive warheads, fragmentation warheads, infrared seekers if you wanted them to just seek towards the enemy's engines. I prefer to go with the laser designator receiver, which goes towards the designator. You can add a proximity fuse or a safety fuse. Basically, for the proximity fuse, actually, proximity fuse would be a good thing. I think I'm going to edit my design a bit. I'm going to add a proximity fuse to this instead of this fragmentation warhead, I think. That way I can tell it I want it to detonate within a range of, let's say, 2. So it doesn't have to hit the target in order to blow up. And I can save that as what is it again? Let's call it frag 2 for now. I can then hit B again. Oh, not B. Go back. Go over to the next one. Load. Frag 2. Click, go over to the next one here. Load. I guess I have to hex it out first. So back. Q. Click. Whoops. Load frag 2. And they're now completely armed and ready to go. So, we resume the game. Hit B to get out of this menu. I would probably want to change this to the same as the weapon. So I'll set it to 2. And I'll set this missile block to fire on 2. Okay. Now if I scroll up to 2, I can actually control this thing. You can see that new laser point that's on the edge of this thing. Now I have to just keep that on the target, and these missiles will fire, seek to the target, and then strike. And the damage will be, well, beautiful. Okay, so the enemy is approaching, but I'm going to save this up for now, and we are going to have to take care of that next time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at From the Depths. If you definitely want to see more of this, you can vote it in the link below as the game to be done on Tuesdays, and I will continue to expand on the campaign here and see what kind of crazy, giant, ridiculous things I can build and destroy and blow shit up, and it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be great. But thank you very much for watching. Definitely feel free to comment any tips or anything down below, and I will definitely answer any questions I can. Peace out for now. Have a great one. See y'all another time. Dragon out.